Canadian airlines are taking away flights to popular U.S. cities. This after many Canadian vacationers apparently are avoiding the U.S. entirely.
Well, if you're planning to fly to the U.S. this summer, you might notice fewer flight options. New data shows a massive drop in demand for air travel between Canada and the U.S., forcing airlines to cut seats and scale back routes.
Have you ever walked into an airport and felt like something was wrong? No crowds, no chaos, just silence. The kind of silence you usually hear in movies right before something big happens. Well, this isn't a movie. This is real life, right now, in 2025. And let me tell you, it's not just a slow travel day, it's the result of a massive tourism crisis unfolding right under our noses. And no one's talking about it. Imagine arriving at one of the busiest airports in the US, and it's like a ghost town. There are no TSA lines. No one rushing to gates, just empty chairs and silent corridors. Feels eerie, right? The kind of emptiness that makes you wonder if you've stepped into some strange alternate reality. But this isn't a throwback clip from the pandemic era. This is happening right now in 2025. So, what's really going on? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on more of these incredible, jaw-dropping facts about the world. Let's dive into today's mind-blowing topic. Number 1, the silent airports. Picture yourself walking through one of America's busiest airports, LAX, JFK, or maybe even Las Vegas. These places are known for being packed with people, energy, and noise. It's chaos, right? But now, imagine walking through the same airport, and it's quiet. Too quiet. Sounds like a movie, doesn't it? But no, this is happening right now, and it's something we need to talk about. Airports that should be bustling with tourists are practically deserted. You could walk from one end of the terminal to the other and not bump into a single person. And if you're in places like Las Vegas, the strip is almost empty too. This isn't some once-in-a-while quiet day. The truth is, it's become a growing trend, and it's happening all over the country. And guess what? The numbers behind this are shocking. International arrivals are down 14% compared to last year. That number doesn't sound huge, right? But trust me, it's catastrophic. That drop? It means a loss of up to $21 billion in tourism revenue this year alone. Billions of dollars disappearing. And it's not just empty terminals. It's empty hotels, empty restaurants, and businesses that depend on tourism are in free fall. Number 2, the Canada crisis. Let's zoom in on Canada for a second. Usually, Canadians are one of the biggest groups of international tourists coming to the US. But this year, flights from Canada to the US have plunged by a staggering 71 to 76%. Let that sink in. That's not just a slowdown, that's a free fall. And it's not just Canada feeling the pain. Let's look at Europe. Number 3, Europe's struggles. Western Europe is facing similar declines. Flights from Germany, the UK, and France are down anywhere from 17% to 28%, depending on the route. Even South America is showing a 10% drop in travel. And you know what that means, right? Fewer tourists, fewer dollars, and cities like New York, Vegas, and Los Angeles are starting to feel it. So, it's not just international tourists staying away. Even Americans themselves are cutting back on travel. Domestic tourism is also in a steep decline. Number 4, domestic decline. Here's something that might surprise you. TSA checkpoint numbers, which had been steadily rising since the pandemic, have finally seen their first real decline in years. Fewer Americans are flying. Why? It's simple. The economy is tough. Airfares are sky high. Hotels are overpriced. Inflation is still hitting hard. And families? They're tightening their belts. For many, a vacation is no longer in the budget. One Reddit user said it best. When people are financing burritos, a trip to Disney just isn't happening this year. And that's the reality we're facing. People are cutting back on what's supposed to be the escape from their everyday lives. But the drop in travel isn't just a random event. It's the result of a perfect storm brewing. Let's break down what's really causing this massive shift. Number 5, the perfect storm. Politics, safety, the economy. These three factors have come together to create a perfect storm that's wreaking havoc on American tourism. Let's take a look at each one. First up, politics. US relations with the rest of the world are tense. Trade disputes, diplomatic friction, and a lot of tough talk coming from Washington. This matters more than most people realize, especially when it comes to tourism. Take Canada, for example. Earlier this year, the Canadian government issued travel advisories warning citizens about safety concerns when visiting the US. The UK followed suit. Even China jumped on the bandwagon, urging citizens to be cautious about traveling to the US. Next, safety concerns, mass shootings, protests, rising crime rates, and whether fair or not, these headlines are shaping how the world views the US. And if you're a family planning a vacation, this is enough to make you think twice. And finally, the economy, inflation, higher costs for gas, food, flights, everything. People simply can't afford to travel like they used to. And it's not just international visitors feeling the pinch. It's Americans too. Number 6, the ripple effect. So, when fewer tourists are flying in, fewer families are booking trips, and entire countries are avoiding the US, who is feeling the pain? Everyone connected to the travel industry. Hotels, restaurants, small businesses, they're all being hit hard. Let's talk about Vegas. Visitor numbers are down by 8% this year. Now, that might not sound huge, but it means thousands of empty rooms every single night. And that's impacting the casinos too. Some are reporting a 5% drop in revenue compared to last year. And in New York, it's even worse. Analysts predict that the city could lose up to 3 million visitors in 2025 alone. That's 3 million people not buying Broadway tickets, not shopping on Fifth Avenue, and not eating at New York's iconic restaurants. Can you imagine the financial impact on a city that thrives on tourism dollars? It's devastating. But here's the question everyone's asking. Is this 2020 all over again? Number 7. Is this 2020 all over again? At first glance, it certainly feels that way. Empty airports, cancelled flights, billions of dollars disappearing into thin air. The similarities to the 2020 lockdowns are uncanny. But let's be clear. This time, it's not a virus causing the damage. It's something much more complicated. It's politics, it's fear, it's economics. And worst of all, there's no easy fix. And that's what makes this so much worse for the tourism industry. In 2020, we had lockdowns and border closures. This time, the borders are open, but people are choosing not to come. And that's a far harder problem to solve. How long will this last? Can the US recover from this massive slump? The truth may shock you. Let's break it down. Number 8, long-term impact. Here's the ugly truth. Tourism is one of the first sectors to feel the pinch when the economy weakens, and it's the last one to recover. Experts are already predicting that if this trend continues, we could see losses of up to $21 billion by the end of the year. And the longer this slump continues, the harder it will be to rebuild America's image as a global tourism powerhouse. So, can the US turn this around? The answer is complicated. It's possible, but it's going to take a lot more than just a quick fix. Number 9, the road to recovery. Here's the good news. There are efforts to reverse this trend. The US Travel Association is teaming up with government agencies to rebuild confidence in the US as a tourist destination. They're launching fresh marketing campaigns with smiling families, beautiful skylines, and upbeat music to make the US feel welcoming again. Customs and border protection is also working on making the entry process smoother. No more standing in long immigration lines. But here's the harsh reality. None of this will matter unless there's a shift in the political landscape. As long as there's diplomatic tension, negative media coverage, and safety concerns, people will keep choosing safer, more stable destinations. Conclusion: a long road ahead. So, can America recover from this tourism crisis? Absolutely. But it won't happen overnight. It's going to take real effort from both the government and the tourism industry to rebuild trust and make the US a welcoming destination once again. What do you think? Are you feeling the effects of this tourism slump where you live? Are you hesitant about traveling to the US right now? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another deep dive into these shocking realities.